Hello, welcome to another Quad Exhibition Exploration. My name is Bonnell, I'm the Senior Curator at Quad, and today we're going to look at Glitched, Quest for the Lost MacGuffin, an exhibition in our main gallery. Some of you listening to this may ask yourself, what is a MacGuffin? There it is on the screen, an object or device in a film or a book which serves merely as a trigger for the plot. So essentially what I wanted to do was to offer up in this exhibition the idea of sending gallery visitors around a built stage set, a sculptural object, if you will, and they would go on an adventurous tour, an art adventure game, as I like to call it, around Quad Gallery, collecting fragments of a puzzle via augmented reality and using iPads. Almost as like detectives going around the space, investigating every nook and cranny. You can see people here investigating every sort of corner of the gallery space. And we put together this exhibition as an experiment to try and see what would happen if we could build something that was fully immersive, but also would involve physical sculptural objects, as well as digital elements too. Quad is an organisation that likes to provide immersive, amazing, fantastic experiences for our gallery visitors. But we also like to commission artists and practitioners and even people within our organisation to make digital works, to make immersive works, to make sculpture works. And you can see here, this is a 3D SketchUp plan of the gallery provided by an organisation, a group called Seeing Everything. And Seeing Everything are Nicholas Mortimer and Joseph Popper, and we did an open call to ask for people to design a stage set for this exhibition for Glitched. And the two things that it would really need to cover was the idea of using movies and films as a starting point, but glitched as in technical glitches. There were elements of the space that were broken or not working. And as you'll see through some of the close-ups of the AR scans, there was a lot of digital works, but digital works that flickered or glitched, quite literally, as people went through the space. But there were 4 zones. There was the detective office you've seen a moment ago, a sort of slightly scary hotel corridor, like something from The Shining. And as I'm just moving the cursor around here, a archive space, sort of a storage area, a stacked floor to ceiling of boxes, something reminiscent, for example, of Raiders of the Lost Ark. And in most films, there's always a scene. It seems on a train, and this was the 4th and final section of the space. Was a train that had all these markers and moving screens that gave a sense of motion in the space. So, in a moment, as we come to, but the grey area, by the way, is the floor space of Quad Gallery. In a moment, we're going to do a walkthrough that will also give you a sense of the amazing soundtrack made by a musician called Rob Newman. So as you can see, a fully immersive, fully interactive exhibition experience, an art adventure game. So here we are with my fantastic colleague Daniel, one of our superb gallery invigilators, and he's going to do a whistle-stop tour around the space, go into each sort of object. He knows where they are, by the way, and this is back in 2016, so it's a number of years ago now. He's going to go through and he's going to show you where those objects were, and I'm going to walk us through the space. So you would use the iPad and it would hit markers in the space. For example, this plan of the hotel plans that I actually made myself. Once the iPad read that marker, it would bring up a augmented reality work that would add an extra dimension to the space. Unfortunately, the Arctic scene on the left didn't have a marker with it as such. It was a wonderful space, but within the ship's poster that was designed by an amazing artist called Nathan Hall, you could go into this Arctic scene and you could sort of move around it with your finger. And the 3D scans were done by my colleague Darius Powell of the bags and for example here, the gun, an ancient gun that's part of Leicestershire Museum's archives. And in this space of the archives or the boxes, there was hundreds and hundreds of these labels, and there was a generic one you've seen briefly a moment ago, but you would be able to spot certain ones. For example, ones with this image that had a sand dune on it, and as you can see right in the middle was the fragment of the puzzle that we were asking people to try and find. And within certain scenes, the landscapes within the sort of augmented reality areas, you could click on and look for elements of the puzzle that became the final Lost MacGuffin, the thing that you were searching for in the exhibition space. So as Daniel walks around, and you can hear there's an amazing ticking noise a moment ago from the music made by my now former colleague Rob Newman, an amazing musician that really gave a sense of atmosphere to the gallery space. And as Dan puts the screen onto the hat box and a hat pops up, one of the weird objects from Leicestershire Museum's collection, and over here a haunted doll. So as you can see just at the bottom right here is a fragment of the puzzle. So you would go through the entire space collecting up to 8 fragments of puzzles until you got the very, very final MacGuffin. And you'll see a glimpse of the Lost MacGuffin, and we'll go and look at it in detail at the end of this talk in a minute. But Daniel went through the space so incredibly quickly because he knew where everything was, and I'd asked him to do as a tour of the space to give us an idea in a bite-sized sort of chunks to understand and get an appreciation of the huge amount of work that went into this project. But I was always amazed that I would find members of the public spending hours and hours walking through the space, searching every nook and cranny. And as we go through this final run through the exhibition space, it's my opportunity now in this brief overview of Glitch to go through a few thanks to my co-curator, Michael Sargent. Glitch Quest for the Lost MacGuffin was produced and curated at Quad by myself and Michael. The digital and augmented reality work was by Piers Bishop, Nguyen Thi, Julian Costard from the University 8 in Paris, and also my amazing colleague at Quad, Darius Powell. Seen everything, as I mentioned before, Nicholas Mortimer, Joseph Popper designed this entire space. Sound, Rob Newman. GIF coming up soon by Alec Mackenzie. Commissioned with us and the collection at the Usher Gallery. Thank you, of course, to our generous funders, Arts Council England and Derby City Council. If you're watching this during the pandemic, stay safe and well. And coming up right now by Alec Mackenzie is the GIF you're all waiting for, the Lost MacGuffin.